lecture today is on the salient features in Buddha Dhamma. Buddha Dhamma is not a religion. It's a way of living. It's an art of living. Buddha is a human being like you, me, or anybody else. Buddha achieved his Buddhahood by developing his mind. Buddha possessed an advanced state of mind. He or any other arahat would look at the world with a lokottara chitta or a super mundane chitta. We, the ordinary people, look at the world with a mundane chitta, which is full of avidya or ignorance. This ignorance is caused by lack of appamado quality. The Pali word appamado and the corresponding Sinhala word for appamado is apramado. The opposite of apramada is pramada, which is delay, lapse, or absence. So appamado means non-absence. It is the non-absence of sati sampajanna. The Pali word sati means mindfulness, which could be explained as non-judgmental observation or bare attention or superficial awareness. The Pali word sampajanno is clear comprehension. So appamado means to be with non-absence of mindfulness and clear comprehension. That is, to be appamado means to be in full presence of mindfulness and clear comprehension. Buddha stressed upon the importance of appamado in his final advice to the world. Vaya Dhamma sankara appamadena sampadeta, meaning all conditioned things are transient and of ceasing nature, and thrive hard to be in appamado. Avidya, or the ignorance, is naturally inbuilt in us, the human beings, while we live in this world. Because of avidya, we tend to develop chetana, or the volitions. Chetana is volitions or intentions, through paticcasamuppada process. That is, we develop avidya through paticcasamuppada process and develop chetana. And paticcasamuppada, I'll try and explain what that is. Paticca means paticca means because of. Samuppada is sama uppada, meaning co-origination. So paticca samuppada means dependent co-origination. We must understand the difference between a reason for something to happen as against the conditions that need to be fulfilled for something to happen. For example, if you happen to see a flower in your front yard, say, what is the reason? Now I'll try and explain. If you happen to see a flower in your front yard when you are getting out of the house, why did you see the flower? Because the flower was there. Okay. If the flower was not there, you wouldn't have seen a flower. So that's the reason, right? Reason. But for that event, that is for you to see the flower, there should be a lot of conditions that should be fulfilled in order to say that event to take place. I'll explain. Now, simply because as you were walking out of your front door in your front yard, you happen to see a flower. Okay, because the flower was there, only you saw it. That's right. But for you to see the flower, you should have a good eyesight. If you are blind, or you wouldn't have the flower wouldn't have been seen. That's not one. The second reason. Then there could be another. That's a condition. Okay, there could be another condition. Though the flower was there, though your eyesight is good, still you wouldn't have seen the flower without the light. Light means you should have either sunlight, moonlight, street light, torch light, or whatever the light. If the light was not there, you wouldn't have seen it. That's another condition. Another condition would be something like even if the flower was there, your eyesight being good, your sunlight or some sort of light being there, still, if when you are walking out, if you are looking elsewhere and not pointing in the direction of the flower, you wouldn't have seen the flower. That's another condition. So you have to head in that direction or look in that direction. Even if all those were satisfied, then if you're still thinking of some problem in your office, then still the flower wouldn't have come into your mind because you're thinking of some other problem. So there are so many conditions that need to be fulfilled for you to see that flower, the simple thing. But very often what happens is we think of one or two reasons. When you say reasons, it boils down to one or two reasons. But actually, there are so many conditions that needs to be fulfilled for it to happen. So the better word in Buddhism, in Buddha Dhamma, what we use is conditions to be fulfilled. So that way, Paticca Samuppada is dependent co-origination. For something to happen, there should be a series of conditions that needs to be satisfied. So in that way, I'll try and explain. As we know, Paticca Samuppada consists of about 12 things. We have studied it, we have memorized this as Avijja Pattaya Sankara, Sankara Pattaya Vijnana, Vijnana Pattaya Nama Rupa. Like that it goes. So I'll try and get to it. First one is Avijja Pattaya Sankara. Now, Avijja is ignorance. Because of ignorance, a mental formation is being formed. That is, think of Sankara is mental formation. Okay, so that is, now if you didn't see the flower, nothing would have been in your, no picture or no mental picture would have come into you. But as you see the flower, there's some mental formation, something picture, something formed in your thing. That's Sankara. So Avijja Pattaya Sankara, so if I call it because of ignorance, mental formation is formed. In other words, it could be stated more correctly as, in lame language, we say because of ignorance, mental formation is formed. But a better way of saying it, by, as I explained you, as conditions, fulfillment of the conditions, I would say through ignorance is conditioned a mental formation. That is, through ignorance, mental formation comes out as a condition. So through ignorance is conditioned mental formation. And then through mental formation is conditioned consciousness. Sankara Pattaya Vijnana. Sankara Pattaya Vijnana, through mental formation is conditioned consciousness. Then Vijnana Pattaya Nama Rupan. Through consciousness is conditioned mental and physical phenomena. Nama Rupa could be said as mental and physical phenomena. I would like to say Nama Rupa, say if I call it Rupa as receiving of some information in your system, say through the eyes, or that is when you are seeing something, where if you hear a noise, That means through the ear you are experiencing something. When you taste something, through the tongue you experience something like that. The receiving of information, if I call it rupa, and then noting it in the mind is called nama. So these two in combination happens that when you happen to see the flower, some information is received in your system by your body. Receiving of information, if I call it rupa, and noting it in the mind is nama. That's what is happening through consciousness, through vijnana is conditioned the mental and physical phenomena. Then nama rupa paccaya salayatana, so through mental and physical phenomena is conditioned the 6 bases. Salayatana is the 6 ayatana higher, 6 bases. So of which in this case we see in the flower, it's the chakku ayatana. Chakku ayatana. Ayatana is a sort of an establishment or some sort of, because of you receiving those information in your system, there's something instituted, something being something is being established. In this case, the chakku establishment is happening. So that's a nama rupa paccaya salayatana, salayatana paccaya passa. That means through the 6 bases or through the chakku ayatana is conditioned the mental impression. Passa means mental impression. That means from then, for this chakku institution, there's something being sent into your mental system. From there, from salayatana paccaya passo, from there onwards, everything is going to be mental. Okay. So once you see in the flower, when that information is sent into the mental system, and creating a mental impression in the mind, it is passo. Then passa paccaya vedana, through mental impression is conditioned feeling. Feelings could be one of 3 types: sukha vedana, dukkha vedana, adukkama asukha vedana. Adukkama asukha is the neutral feeling. One is sukha vedana, happy feeling. Asukha vedana is a dukkha feeling. Dukkha vedana is unhappy feeling. Okay. Through mental impression is conditioned feeling. Through feeling, through vedana paccaya tanna, that is through feeling is conditioned craving. Craving is again, that is tanna. Tanna is of 3 types that could be said as kama tanna, bhava tanna, vibhava tanna. Kama tanna is the desire, those are desires. Craving is desires. Kama tanna is craving to have sexual pleasures or sensual pleasures is kama tanna. Bhava tanna is the desire to be or have. That means the desire to be. That means if someone wants to be the president or somebody, that means you want to be. That's a bhava tanna. Or have. Have means I like to possess whatever Cadillac car or something. Or I like to possess a palatial house. That's a bhava tanna. That means you want to have it. So bhava tanna is the desire to be or have. Vibhava tanna is that you are unhappy with the present setup and you want to destroy the present setup. Vibhava tanna. That's you are angry with it. You want to get rid of it. So the kama tanna and bhava tanna are because of greed or lobha. You want to possess, sensual pleasures. You want to possess, or bhava tanna. You want to possess. I want to be or have. Those are greed. Whereas vibhava tanna is out of hatred, or you don't like it. You don't like the present setup. So anyway, tanna. Now, where did I stop? Passa paccaya vedana, vedana paccaya tanna, tanna paccaya upadana. So tanna paccaya upadana, that means because of craving, through craving is conditions clinging. Upadana is clinging. You are trying to hang on to it because you got attracted to it. If it is sensual pleasures, you like to have it. And so you are hanging on to it. Attachment, you are attaching to it. Through craving is conditioned clinging. And through clinging is conditioned karma process of bhava. That is upadana pacchaya bhava. Because of upadana, you try to attach to it. So that will create that's called bhava means karma process of becoming. Karma process of becoming is called bhava. So through clinging is conditioned karma process of becoming. Through karma process of becoming is conditions birth, bhava pacchaya jati. Jati means birth. And through jati pacchaya jara marana soka parideva dukkha, like that the list goes. So through birth is conditioned decay. Jara means decay, marana means death, jara marana soka. Soka is sorrow, parideva is lamentation, and dukkha, unhappiness, like that this goes. So in this process, we develop 5 heaps of, we develop pancha upadana skandha. In this process, that is, you see in the flower, that's only what happened. And then through this process of paticcasamuppada, you are creating 5 heaps of clinging. Pancha upadana skandha. Pancha is 5, upadana is clinging, skandha is masses or heaps. So in this process of you seeing that flower, we created 5 heaps of clinging. The 5 heaps are the Rupa Upadana Skandha, Vedana Upadana Skandha, Sanya Upadana Skandha, Sankara Upadana Skandha, and Vijnana Upadana Skandha. Now, that's what the Panchaskandha we say, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. Okay. So, in this, we could, this Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana, we could regroup it as Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, and Chetana. By taking Sankara and Vijnana together, we could take it as Chetana. So Chetana, actually, Chetana, Buddha stated, Chetanaham bhikkhave kammam vadami. Meaning, dear bhikkhus, I declare that intentions as karma. He stated it profoundly. He stated with full certainty that, dear bhikkhus, I declare intention is karma. So what happens is, these karma would yield karma phala, or the results of the karma. The good karma would yield good results, and the bad karmas, akusal, will form akusal karma. So we have akusala. So good karma will have good results, bad karmas will have bad results. So thus automatically we extend our samsara, or the samsaric journey, while living in this world as ordinary people with mundane chitta. Every experience we develop chetana, and thereby we extend our samsara. And because we develop karma, and then we have to face the karma phala. So with our mundane chittas being in ignorance, we'll be generating this karma with every sensory input, every experience we get through the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. These things come if our eyes and all of our senses are working. Every moment, we tend to gather things. So that's the mundane chitta. So because we are not living with super mundane chitta or the lokottara chitta, we tend to accumulate the thing with every experience. So in order to stay without generating karma, what we must do is to look at the world with a lokottara chitta. That is the supermundane chitta. So lokottara chitta is associated with panya. It's panya. Panya, actually, panya is the Excuse me. Oh, yeah, okay. Panya is, it could be referred to as wisdom. That's, we say wisdom. Panya is wisdom. The English dictionary says wisdom, but it's not wisdom. It's not the wisdom we talk in the normal terms. It is an understanding or it's an insight knowledge one needs to develop. Vipassana jnana. It's a sort of a insight knowledge, and panya could be stated as a sort of an intuitive knowledge which we need to possess. It is an integral part of the noble eightfold path. That's the Arya Ashtangika Magga, which the Buddha prescribed us to follow in our process of realization of Nibbana. So we have to follow it, follow a certain procedure to develop, if we are to get at panya, or if we are to develop panya in us, we'll have to follow a certain standard procedure prescribed by Buddha, and that standard procedure is Arya Ashtangika Magga, the Noble Eightfold Path. The Noble Eightfold Path comprises of, Samma Ditti, Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha, Samma Kammanta, Samma Ajiva, Samma Vayam, Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi. Now, as we know, Samma Ditti is the right view, Samma Sankappa is the right concept, Samma Vacha is right speech, Samma Kammanta is right actions, Samma Ajiva is right livelihood, Samma Vayam, right effort, Samma Sati, right mindfulness, and Samma Samadhi is the right concentration. So this Noble Eightfold Path could be broadly divided into three broader groups as Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila is the moral conduct, Samadhi is the concentration, Panya is the wisdom. Where now Sila could be, would comprise of Samma Vacha, Samma Kammanta, Samma Ajiva, could be categorized as Sila, moral conduct. Okay. Then Samadhi group is Samma Vayam, Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi can be encompassed as the Samadhi group. And Samma Ditti and Samma Sankappa could consist of the Panya group, right? So Sila, Samadhi, Panya. So in order to develop, now our topic is how to develop Panya. In order to develop Panya, we were instructed to follow the Satara Satipatthana by the Buddha. Satara Satipatthana, that's the four foundations of mindfulness, namely Kayanupassana, Vedananupassana, Chittanupassana, Dhammanupassana. Now, Kayanupassana is contemplation of the body. Vedananupassana is contemplation of the feelings. Chittanupassana, contemplation of the mind. And Dhammanupassana, contemplation of the mind objects. And it is now, this Satara Satipatthana is a methodical practice one has to follow and get accustomed to it. And it consists of 16 steps that we'll have to adopt. So this is stated in Ananda Sutta and so many other suttas. These 16 steps which we'll have to follow. And because of, I'm not going into details of it, but because I need to finish this, I'll quickly say, of the 16 steps, the first 12 steps are allotted for the three contemplations explicitly, that of the body, feelings, and the mind. And assigning 4 for each of them. That's for first 4 is for Kayanupassana. The second, 5th to 8th is Vedananupassana, and then 9 to 12 is Chittanupassana. Okay, so there are standard, it's a procedure one has to adopt. Okay. Then I'm not talking about the first 3 steps that you will have to follow, and it's a procedure it's a procedure. That's Satara Satipatthana. That's what we are training in with Bhavana centers, all that, and people do it with consistency. You will have to get used to it. But now what I'm trying to get at is 13th step is the contemplation of impermanence. That is anicca anupassana. You have to, this is the contemplating on anicca, the impermanent nature. So, and anicca is one of the three tilakkanas the Buddha emphasized. Buddha emphasized three qualities, three characteristics: anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anicca is impermanent nature, the transient nature of things, transient nature of sankharas, okay, anicca. Dukkha is they eventually end up with, however, they end up with dukkha, unhappiness. There could be, as I say, the feelings could be happy feeling, unhappy feeling, or the neutral feeling. But neutral feeling, most of us, we don't recognize it as a feeling when we goes as gets embedded in the ignorance. But dukkha feeling is always unhappy because it's unhappy. Whereas if it is a happy feeling, because at the end of the happy feeling won't last forever, and there'll be a stop to it, there'll be an end to it. Because of the ending of the happy feeling, you will be unhappy again. So that's what Buddha emphasized. There's this you have to contemplate on the anicca. Anicca, dukkha, anatta. Those are the anatta is non-self or not self or beyond self nature. That means of all the formations, things are, there's a certain, atta means somebody who has a control of it, atta. Anatta means it's beyond our control. All the formations of existence is beyond our control, sort of, in that sense. So contemplation of anatta, is contemplation of anatta would penetrate to develop panya. That's what it is. In here, panya will prop up automatically if the conditions are fulfilled. I was at the start, I was saying conditions being fulfilled. So if the 13 steps are done correctly, panya, there'll be panya udapadi. Panya udapadi, in Sinhalese, udapadi means pahalave. It comes up. Panya udapadi, they say panya udapadi, aloko udapadi, the light would come. Aloko udapadi, jnana udapadi, knowledge would come. So it comes up with the fulfillment of the conditions. So right? So it is not a sort of a, it is not a, it's not, you can't buy it. Now it's like this, sleep, it's like sleep. Sleep, what happens? Sleep is, what happens now? You can't buy sleep. If the conditions are fulfilled, sleep would happen. That's what the little children, a baby would go to sleep and he'll turn over or hug a pillow or whatever, all that to fulfill those conditions. Once those conditions for sleep is fulfilled, he'll go to sleep. Likewise, this panya udapadi, panya would come. And I was talking about panya. Panya would eradicate the mundane ignorance in us, the human beings, and panya will be mutually exclusive to ignorance. If panya is there, ignorance won't be there. So that's yeah. it's mutually exclusive. And so if panya is there, if we develop panya, there will be no more pancha upadana skandha, and no more rupa vedana chetana. So no more karma would be formed. And yeah, so I'd like to just quote about the experience Bahaya Daru Virya experience in consultation with Buddha, and Buddha came out with he's a non-Buddhist, Bahaya. Bahaya wanted Buddha to explain him in a nutshell what he realized in Buddhahood. Or then Buddha came out with the Gatha. It's Ditte Dittamattang, Sute Sutamattang, Mute Mutamattang, Vinyate Vinyata Mattang Bhavissami. So in other words, if you happen to see it, that's it. Seeing is that's it. If you happen to hear anything, that's it. Hearing, that's it, and no more. So that's what. If you happen to experience anything through the nose, tongue, or the body, that's it's an experience, and that's it. And if you happen to recollect anything, vinyate vinyata matang, and that's it. So and then after a little while, this person Bahaya he has met with an accident, and he had been attacked by a wild buffalo, and he has died. Then the Buddha, on his return, he was going to a dane, and when he was coming back, this person was Bahaya had been killed by this accident, and then Buddha has mentioned that he achieved arahathood, and treat him as a funeral to a arahat. So that, in other words, if you have, he have achieved that panya, and he has adhered to it, that ditte dittamattang, that is, if you have seen it, it's seen, that's it, no more development. So that is what we need in developing panya. So karma, now I said karma is operating according to, now I said without panya we are developing karma, through paticcasamuppada, through chetana we are developing karma. Karma is operating on a certain doctrine or certain norm, and it's called karma niyama. There's a law of karma. This karma niyama is a part of pancha niyama. Pancha niyama is that 5 laws of natural existence in this world. The 5, I'll explain what pancha niyama means. Pancha niyama comprises of ittu niyama, that is, ittu niyama is law of seasons. That is, whether we like it or not, seasons are, the winters are coming, summers are coming, and it's happening according to a certain pattern. So that's ittu niyama. Bija niyama is law of species, where it's the species, say if you want to have oranges will be got from an orange tree. If you want apple is come from an apple tree. So that's according to a certain law. It's happening, whether we like it or not. Then the first one I said, ittu niyama, bija niyama, dhamma niyama. Dhamma niyama is law of nature. Law of nature is like, it could be gravity or gravitational force, or it could be water is flowing down from top to bottom, not from bottom to top. That's a law. It's happening. So law of dhammata. So and also there is the Atalo Dhamma, Astaloka Dhamma. That's Astaloka Dhamma is anyone in this living in this world, including Buddha, will have to face Astaloka Dhamma. That's Atalo Dhamma is Labha, Alabha, Yasa, Ayasa, Ninda, Prasansa, Sukha, Dukkha. So that's labha is gain or loss. So if you are running a business or something, it's always, there should be gain, profit and loss type of thing, you know, gain and loss. Yasa ayasa, that is fame and ill fame. Then ninda prasansa is insults and praise. And sukha dukkha is happiness and unhappiness. That is inevitable. So that is what I said. What are the niyamas I said? Ittu niyama, bija niyama, dhamma niyama, then chitta niyama. Chitta niyama is law of consciousness or law of the mind, where you can recollect. Say if you think of Peradeniya University, it just comes. The buildings comes to my mind. How it comes, I don't know, but it comes. Likewise, if you have a past incident, the whole thing is dramatized and that memory comes. It's coming according to a certain law. That is called chitta niyama. Then kamma niyama is law of karma. Of these five, the five niyamas, the first four, ittu niyama, bija niyama, dhamma niyama, chitta niyama, you can't do anything. Whether we like it or not, it happens. The only thing we could do is kamma niyama, but we can manipulate it to some extent by not developing karma, that is not developing chetana. That for that only we need panya. So yes, that's what we need, panya. And now tilakkana, I like to talk on the three characteristics, that is anicca, dukkha, anatta. In Dhammapada, there are three gathas, like I like to present it to you. It's sabbe sankara anicchati yada panyaya passati ata nibbindati dukke esa maggo visuddhya. So that is sabbe sankara anicca. That is all sankaras, all conditioned things are impermanent and of transient nature. And that is sabbe sankara anicchati yada panyaya passati. That means you must see it through your panya. And with the disgust of ata nibbindati dukke, with the disgust of this dukkha, esa maggo visuddhya, this is the path to purity or nibbana. That's the first one, the first gatha. Second gatha is on the same lines. First one said sabbe sankara anicchati. Second one says sabbe sankara dukkhati yada panyaya passati ata nibbindati dukke esa maggo visuddhya. That means all conditioned things are sorrowful, and you must see through your panya, and with the disgust of this dukkha, this is the path to purity or nibbana. So that's first one, sabbe sankara anicchati. Second one, sabbe sankara dukkhati. Third one, sabbe dhamma anatta yada panyaya passati ata nibbindati dukke esa maggo visuddhya. That means sabbe dhamma anatta. All dharmata or doctrines are beyond self. All doctrines are beyond self, and you must see yada panyaya passati. You must see through panya, and with the disgust of this dukkha, this is the path to purity or nibbana. So all dharmatas are anatta and beyond self. Therefore, we have no control of them either. Sabbe sankara anicca. And the thing is, all sankaras, all mental formations are anicca. They are transient. Whether we like it or not, they change. So, and then the second one, sabbe sankara dukkha. All conditioned things are ending up with sorrow. So to the first two, anicchati, the first one is anicchati, second one is dukkhati, third one is anattata. So anattata is beyond, if it is beyond control, we can't do this, anything. So only thing we can do is to avoid dukkha. That to avoid dukkha, Buddha came out with the four noble truths, the Chaturarya Satya. Chaturarya Satya is dukkha Satya, Samudaya Satya, Nirodha Satya, Marga Satya. And he came out with a method how to avoid dukkha in life. And that is the Sammaditthi. And so first one is dukkha Satya, that is, he explained that there is the existence of the unhappiness in this world. There's the existence of the unhappiness in this world. Second one, the second noble truth, there is the existence of a cause for the unhappiness in this world. And the cause for unhappiness is the attachment to desires. Third noble truth is there is the existence of cessation or the extinction of unhappiness of this world. Fourth noble truth, there is the existence of a path for the cessation of unhappiness in this world. That path is the following the noble eightfold path. So the second one, Samudaya Satya, there is the existence of a cause for of the unhappiness. The cause is the attachment to the desires. Then, as I said earlier, desires are of three types: Kamatanna, Bhavatanna, Vibhavatanna. So this attachment is the problem. Desires are okay, but hanging on to it, the clinging on to is the problem. So, this clinging on thing, we can let go of it. We have to, in the Panya section, I said Sila, Samadhi, Panya. So Panya section comprises of Samma Ditti and Samma Sankappa. So Samma Sankappa is comprised of Nekkamma Sankappa, Avyapada Sankappa, and Avihimsa Sankappa. Nekkamma Sankappa is the concept of letting go. Avyapada Sankappa is concept of non-hatred. Vyapada, opposite of Vyapada, Avyapada, non-hatred. And then Avihimsa is non-violence. So you have to let go of it, of this attachment with non-hatred and non-violence. That's the way to go. So with every experience we come across, we'll have to let go of it in a more let go of it with Nekkamma Sankappa, with Avyapada and Avihimsa Sankappa, that is with non-hatred and non-violence. So I like to just touch on this Nagasena Milinda the discussion. So the King Milinda asked Arahat Nagasena, and he asked a series of questions. And King Milinda asked, "What is Panya?" And he wanted Arahat Nagasena to explain what Panya is. So Panya is illumination without defilements. I repeat, illumination without defilements. So in Sinhalese it's a Kelesen Valin Thora Prabhaswara Bhava. So it's illumination without defilements. So this Panya is could be got or achieved by following the 16 steps of the Satara Satipatthana. And I would like to finish this lecture just giving an example that is, while we were long years back, while we were doing the HSC, in HSC physics, there's an experiment, a light experiment in light, where is a glass, through a glass prism, a colorless ray of light passes through the prism, and it's divided into 7 colors, like the colors of the rainbow, like violet, indigo, blue, yellow, like that. So that experiment, I don't know whether the present day syllabuses have this experiment, but in our time, we had this experiment, and I could remember physics master teaching us, if the angle of incidence is more than the critical angle, this colorless ray is divided into 7 colors, and the different rainbow colors fall on the wall. So this could be done if the correct methodology is adopted. This result could be obtained by first the teachers did it, and it could be done if we follow, you, me, or anybody doing it, we'll see the results. So it's what I'm trying to say is, whether it is done today or in 12 hours time or 100 years time, if you follow the methodology, results would be got. So in the Swakato Gatava, we say Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditthiko. Sanditthiko is at this very instant. So if the physics, if you do it in the procedure, results will be got. So likewise, these 16 steps, if we follow, the results would be got. Sanditthiko. Akaliko, it is irrespective of time, whether it is now or in so many few hours time or 10 years time, akaliko, irrespective of time. Ehi pasiko, come and see. Things are, results could be got. Ehi, come and see. Ehi pasiko, opanaiko, it's crystal clear. Opanaiko. Pachattam veditabbo vinyohiti. You have to realize it yourself with full convincing. So pachattam veditabbo vinyohiti. So the result, you have to realize it with full conviction. So that is, I think there's a resemblance to this physics experiment. The Buddha, Lord Buddha preached this 2,600 years ago, but if it is, results could be got even now if the correct procedure is adopted. That's what I wanted to emphasize. So thank you very much for listening.
Vishvavahini.